Hi there, Stampers. Here's another video tutorial for you. I saw a cool card not too long ago. It's an Etch-a-Sketch card, and I wanted to do a video tutorial on that particular card. I love it. It is so awesome. So here is the card we're going to make. Makes it look like a little Etch-a-Sketch. I love it. I had one of these when I was little, and I absolutely loved that thing. Oh, it was awesome. Okay, so this is what we're going to do to make it. Standard card base. Half of an 8.5 by 11. Just fold that in half. And we're going to take our Project Life corner rounder and we're going to round all the corners. And I'm even going to do these guys. A little thicker, but it works. Yay! So we've got our base done. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to take another piece that is the exact same size as our card front. So 5.5 by 4 1/4. Piece of real red. And what I've already done is I've run it through the Big Shot with the Project Life framelit, the card framelit. So it's punched out this middle piece. Okay, so that is done. And I'm going to round the corners on this guy. I have a piece of Sahara sand, which is 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm going to round the corners on that too. So that is almost like our standard card front. One's a little bit smaller than the other. And then I have a piece of vellum, which is the same, 5 1/4 by 4. And you guessed it, I'm going to round the corners on that puppy too. Okay. So I've got all of those done. I am going to take my vellum, and I've got a thing of Post-it notes here. I use these for tape all the time when I'm stamping, and what I've done is I've just torn off the other edges of the Post-it note so that I just have this tape available. So I'm going to take a piece of this, rip it in half, and I'm going to tape my vellum down onto my grid paper. Okay, so this is our screen that we're using. Now the next thing we're using, let me go grab the stamp set. I wanted to make a Valentine because we do have Valentine's Day coming up relatively soon. So I'm using the You Plus Me stamp set that's from the New Occasions catalog. And what I've done is I've taken some of the clear stamps. They're already on my block. But what I did was I took these stamps and I put them on my paper. So what I did was my vellum is down, taped down. I'm going to take my real red, which is my cover, and I'm going to put that over my vellum. Make sure none of your edges are poking out. I'm going to take another piece of the Post-it note tape. I'm going to tape that down. And then when I place my clear stamps, I can place them so that they all fit in the screen for my image. And then I can press my block onto them. I've already done that because I did the sample, but you get the idea. So you can fiddle with all your stamps, make sure they all work. You might do a landscape, you might do something completely different on your Etch-a-Sketch. So you can make sure that all of your stamps are going to work, and then press your clear block over top so you end up having them all ready. Okay? And then I'm going to take my Stays On ink, give it a sniff, because I love the smell of this stuff. I'm going to ink up my stamps. And then I can see exactly where they're going. Press those down onto my vellum. Ta-da! And then I'm going to take my heat gun, and I'm just going to finish this off so that none of the ink bleeds. So I'm just going to give this a quick go over with the heat gun. doesn't really take long at all. And now with this guy, I used a bigger circle. I used the 1-inch circle punch on this guy. And they're great. There's nothing wrong with them, but they were a little too big for my liking. So what I did with this one is I had the 3/4 on hand, and that's what I used for this guy. So I punched 2 3/4 pieces. So it just depends on what look you're going for. You can see the little bit of a difference there, right? So we've got our 2 white circles as well. Let me get those out of the way. Now, before we assemble, the next thing I want to do, you'll see the lines up here with the Happy Valentine's Day. They're great. I like the look of it. It's a good card, but for this one, I'm going to leave the dots off. I want to see what it looks like when I just have that Happy Valentine's Day there. So let me see. Oh, my white embossing powder. Oh, no, there it is. Perfect. I've got it all. I thought I had prepped everything, and then I panicked. So I've got my Versamark, and this is the Happy Valentine's Day from the Teeny Tiny Wishes stamp set. I have gotten triple or quadruple of my money's worth out of that stamp set. I love, love, love it. I think I'm going to put this guy over to the side. Close that up. I've got my white emboss powder here. And I'm going to have to take this guy off. Put my white emboss powder on. And then I can use my fingertip or a little paintbrush if you've got it. I don't know where mine is right now. I'm still unpacking some of my stamp room. There we go. So now I just need to heat this up. And we're good to go. So I can take the Post-it note tape off of that. And the Post-it note tape, you can use that a couple of times. If it gets in my way, sometimes I end up just chucking the pieces that are left over. If it's not, I've had it stuck to my grid paper for a little while, and then I go back to use it the next time. The next time I need it, it's right on the corner of my grid paper, depending on how messy my grid paper gets with my projects. Okie dokie. So now what we're going to do is we're going to be assembling this guy. Now, what we want, these fit right over top of each other, but we do not want any of our snail to show outside of our screen. And with vellum, it can be very, very tricky. So what I'm going to do is I am going to snail around the edges of my vellum. I'm just bringing in a scrap piece because my backing there is laminated. I don't want to get any on there. And I'm just going to go around the edges. Okay. And then I am going to attach these two together. And then next, I'm going to take my red Etch-a-Sketch topper. And of course I got some snail on there that'll wipe off. And I'm going to go over top. And then I'm going to take my card base. Oh! Add a snail. On to the next one. I'll put lots of snail on the front of this guy just because it's so heavy with all the different layers of cardstock. This should match up exactly with the front of your card. And then what I need are some dimensionals. And I'm going to put those on the backs of my little white Etch-a-Sketch knobs. And then I'm going to put these guys right here. There we have it. Then you can use some computer paper on the inside. You could put more of a Valentine's Day quote on the inside. You could use the Twitter painted on the inside, the You Plus Me, all kinds of options. But that gives you an idea on how to create your Etch-a-Sketch card front. Adjust it for any occasion you've got coming up, and you have the cutest card ever. Some of the kid-themed stamp sets that we've got, they would look awesome on the front of this Etch-a-Sketch for a little kid's birthday party. Awesome. Hope you liked the video tutorial. Go ahead and make your own. They're super cute and so easy. Hope you enjoyed the video tutorial. Happy stamping!